when it comes to lambda functions, they belongs to only single line. Okay, so if you see the lambda of a, wherever a is there, that will be replaced with 5. That will be replaced with 5. So that becomes 5 plus 10. That becomes 5 plus 10. So 5 plus 10 is 15. We got the output as 15. Say instead of x comma 5, x of 5. Okay, we need to pass some other number, 7. If I'm passing 7, it becomes 7 plus 10. It becomes 7 plus 10. So the output will be 7 plus 10. It will be, output will be 17. Okay, good, Usha. Okay, so those are known as lambda functions. Now let me take one more examples. How many arguments are there in this example, Usha? How many arguments are there for this function? 2. Good, Usha. Okay, say here two arguments are there, a comma b. We are passing a comma b. So wherever a is there, that value will be replaced with respective value, whichever it is passed from the function. Say here we are passing 5. Wherever a is there, that will be replaced with 5. Similarly, wherever b is there, that will be replaced with 6. Okay, so this becomes 5 into 6. This becomes 5 into 6. You see there, 5 into 6, it is 30. 5 into 6, it is 30. Okay, say for b value, let me give 9. Let me give 9. It becomes 45. You see there, the value has been changed to 45. The value has been changed to 45. Okay, so here we are passing two parameters. Here we are passing two parameters. Similarly, in the next example, it is three parameters. We are passing three parameters. What is the function call? Where is the function call, Priya? Where is the function call, Usha, in this? You can unmute and you can speak if you want, Usha. This is the function call. This is a function call. X of 5 comma 6 comma 2. This is known as function call. We are passing 5, 6, 2 respectively. Okay, 5, 6, 2 respectively. Let me execute that. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. We got 13. We got 13. Okay, like that. See here, these lambda functions will be not having any name. These lambda functions will not having any names here. Anonymous functions. These are known as anonymous function. Please type me anonymous function, Usha. Please type me anonymous. No name. Anonymous. Good. Good, Usha. See here. In this example, this is the function. This is a function. Okay. Now we can place this statement anywhere. We can place this one in anywhere. Okay. So in this example, it has been placed under my function. Okay, like that. These are known as anonymous functions. Okay. Now in the last class, I was telling you about classes. Okay, in this class, let me tell you about the inheritance. Let me tell you about the inheritance. Yesterday we stopped there. Okay, yesterday we stopped there. Let me open a notepad. See here, inheritance. Okay, the main use of inheritance is reusability of code. Okay, that is the main use of inheritance. if you take different types of inheritance, we'll be having multiple inheritance. Did I told you in last session, Usha? Did I told you this one in the last session? Okay. You see there, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Okay. Then you'll be having a hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. You see there, when we talk about multiple inheritance, when we talk about multiple inheritance, it will be having, it will be having only one base class, only one base class always. Okay, only one base class at every level, at every level. Okay, if you take the example, if you take the example, grandson, grandfather, grandfather. Okay, after that father, after that grandfather, father, son, grandson, grandson, grandson. Okay, it will be like this. Only when at every level you'll be having only one base class. Okay, this type of inheritance is known as multiple inheritance. Similarly, multi-level, multi-level inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Don't worry about spelling. In the multiple inheritance, in the, sorry, this is multi-level. Okay, this is multiple, this is multiple. Okay, whenever we say multiple, many, whenever we say multiple, it is many. Okay, you come here, you see there, father, mother, father, mother are the base classes. Okay, now are the base classes. It will be having son. Okay, son is the derived class, son is the derived class. Okay, it is like this. So son is derived from father and mother. Son is derived from, son is derived from, okay, son is derived from father comma mother, father comma mother classes. Okay, like this. So this type inheritance is known as multiple inheritance. Now the next inheritance is hybrid inheritance. The next inheritance is hybrid inheritance. Okay, now when we talk about hybrid inheritance, it is the combination of, it is the combination of multi multiple comma multi-level, both, both. Okay, both will be there. That kind of inheritance is known as hybrid inheritance. Now let me go to that. It is very important. This website is also very important. Inheritance, somewhere inheritance here. Now you see there, example, this is the one of the base class, this is one of the base class. Base class is also known as parent class, base class is also known as parent class. Now if you see the base class, it is having two functions. One is constructor, the other one is method, normal method. Now in the constructor, person is initialized with first name and last name. Now we are printing first name and last name. Here we are initializing an object. We are creating an object of person, which is x, X points to the object person, which will be having the values John and Doe. John is first name, Doe is last name. So John is copied to first name, Doe is copied to last name. Okay. In turn, you see the parameter here, self. Self is like this operator. Self is like this operator. It will be pointing to the current object. It will be pointing to the current object. So let me run this. You see there, I'm printing print name. This is the call for method. This is the call for method of the object X. Okay, so this will be executed. You will be getting self dot first name and self dot last name. Self dot first name is copied with the F name. Okay, which in turn F name is John. Similarly, self dot last name, which in turn is copied with L name, where L name is Doe, So you are getting John Doe, okay, as the output. Okay. Now, if you see the next class, how to create the derived class. So the syntax is class, child class, within the bracket parent class. Okay, it is like this. If parent class is class A, okay, this class A, derived class can be derived like this. Okay, we can derive like this. Okay, like this. Please type me this statement, Usha. Only that blue colored highlighted statement. Okay, good. See here, this does not have any body. Okay, we are defining a parent class which don't have any body. Okay, similarly, I'm deriving B from A. Okay, this is one of the simple example. Say I'll create one more example. Say class father. Okay, now I'll give colon. I'll initialize with some methods. Print high. Okay, I'll close this. Something I'll write here. Okay, now I'll derive class son. Okay, base class must be written within brackets. Class son, where we need to write in base class must be written in brackets. Okay, now view colon. Now diff we can write any method. Print 2. Okay, print 2. One method I'm defining here. Here also this is the method. Okay, now if I create an object, object of son. Okay, where the son name is, I can give any name. I can give Raj. Okay, I can give Raj. This will create an object. This will create an object uh, which is of type son. Okay, which is derived from father. Okay, now if you want to invoke print 2 Raj, print 2, we can invoke print 2. Even we can invoke Raj, print high. Okay, you see there, this print 2 belongs to derived class. Okay, or derived class or child class. Now this print high belongs to the belongs to parent class. Okay, parent class. Okay, this is the meaning here. Are you able to understand, Usha? Please type me say yes. Say me type me yes or no. Okay. Now you see there. Okay, I told you init method. Init method is like a default constructor. Init method is like default constructor. Init init method is like default method. Okay, default method or default constructor. Default constructor. I told you why we are using constructors. Why we are using constructors, Usha? I told you. Constructors is for initialization. Is for initialization of attributes. Okay. Constructors is for initialization of attributes. Okay. Constructors is for initialization of attributes. Okay. You see there, we can't directly initialize the attributes. We need some special methods. We need some special methods. They are known as constructors. They are known as constructors. Okay. Now, okay. Now, if we are having tell me, Usha, do you want to tell something? Okay. If there are functions in say here, this is class father, this is class father. Okay, if it has a method like print, if it is having a method like print. Similarly, class son is also having method like print, is also having method like print. Now how to invoke in invoke print of father? For that we need to use super dot print, okay. This always points to the method which is there in the base class. Okay, that is the use of super. Okay, super is a keyword. Super is a keyword which which invokes which invokes the method which is which is in base class, okay. This is the meaning. Okay, please type me super, Usha. Please type me super. Good. You see there, student is the derived class derived from person. It is having one method in it. Okay, now two inits are there, init in student and init in person. Okay, if you want to invoke the init method of person, we need to use super. We are using super dot init. We are passing first name and last name. Okay, after that, this self dot graduation here, this belongs to this method, this student class. Okay, so do you want to say anything, Usha? Okay. Now, if you see here, Okay, you see in this example, I am creating an object of student. I am passing parameters like Mike, Olson, and year. Mike will be copied to first name, Olson will be copied to last name, and 2019 will be copied to year. Now I am passing only F name and last name to the init class of the person, init class of the person. If you go back to the init class of the person, you see there. This is This is the init class of person. This is the init class of person. So f name will be copied to self dot first name, last name will be copied to self dot last name. Okay, like this. So it becomes, so Mike will be copied to first name, Olson will be copied to last name, and 2019 will be copied to graduation year. Okay, let me execute that. You see there, class person also has been defined. Okay, parent class is person, derived class is student. Okay, now we are passing values to derived class student. Okay, which in turn will be copied to, init method of the parent class, which is invoked by super. Okay, now first name comma last name, that will be copied to f name and last name. Okay, so if you want the graduation year, we are printing the graduation year. Okay. Now, similarly, we can print first name and last name. We can print first name and last name. Let me try that. Print x dot f name, x dot f name. Okay. Let me try that. Okay. What may be the error, Usha? F name and last name. F name and last name are local parameters. Local parameters. Okay. Here we have to use first name. Here we have to use first name. Okay. You see the color has been changed. Color has been changed. If it is F name, first name, first name. Okay. Let me try that. You see there, we got. So first name is the attribute, last name is the local attribute. Okay, f name is uh, they are temporary attributes. Okay, they are temporary attributes which are received here, which are received in the method. Okay, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಉಷಾ? ಹೇಳಿ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ನೋ ಅಂತ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಉಷಾ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಓಕೆ, we can add one more method directly like this. What is the name of method in this, what is the name of the method which has been added in this example? Tell me, Usha. By seeing this example, tell me the name of the method or function which is added in a student class. Welcome. Good. You see there, we are adding welcome. We need to pass self always. Okay, you see there, self, this operator, it's like this operator. Now welcome, uh, self first name comma last name, similarly to the class of self graduation year. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, you see there, I'm passing Mike and Olson to the 2019. I'm calling welcome function. As soon as welcome function is invoked, this will be executed. We'll be getting welcome as it is. You see there, welcome as it is. After that, self dot first name, self dot last name. Okay. After that, to the class of. After that, self dot graduation year. Okay. Now if you change it, okay, say let me change to Ram, okay, Ram, say Arvind, okay, something like this. First name is Ram, last name is Arvind, okay. Say year, I will change some year, 2020. Now let me run that. You see there, welcome Ram Arvind to the class of 2020. Okay, this happens. Here you must know, how to derive student child class from the parent class. Along with that, how to invoke the methods. Okay, we are invoking the method. Okay, let me see the next example. Okay, only this much, it's enough. Okay, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡೆರೈವ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡೆರೈವ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇನ್ವೋಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಮಚ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎನಫ್. Okay, only that much, it's enough. Okay, now let me give you some brief introduction about NumPy. Okay, please type me NumPy. Please type me NumPy. Okay, good. You see there, from here onwards, very important things will be we'll be starting very important things. These are related with data science. Okay, if the data is very large, okay, we need arrays to be manipulated with them. Okay, so NumPy stands for numerical Python library, which works with arrays. Okay, I think you know the definition of array. Okay, array, it's a collection of homogeneous data. Okay, if you want to store 100 integers at a single place, okay, we'll be using arrays. Okay, if you see the syntax, data type, okay, array name, here it is size. Okay, now if you take the example int a of 20, where we can store 20 elements, continuously. Okay, that is the meaning. In Python also the same thing. NumPy, it's a library which is used to access faster the library, okay, or the arrays. Now we need to import NumPy. After that, you see that we are creating an array. NumPy dot, it will be having a method array. Okay, NumPy will be having, first we need to import NumPy. After that, NumPy dot array. Okay, we'll be having a method array. Okay, which is used to create an array. Okay, we may create one-dimensional array. We may create two-dimensional array. Okay, we may create three-dimensional array, like that. I think you know one-dimensional array, two-dimensional arrays, three-dimensional arrays. Say yes or no, Usha? Do you know one-dimensional array, two-dimensional arrays? Okay, good. In this example, we are creating an one-dimensional array. That needs to be passed as a closed within square brackets. It's like this. Okay, we need to pass 1 2 3. Like this. Now ARR is an object. We call it as ARR is an object of is an object of type numpy. Okay, ARR is an object of type numpy. Okay, now if you see the next example, instead of importing numpy directly, we need to, it is very difficult to specify numpy everywhere. So what we do is we will give some nickname, short name. So we can import like this, import numpy as np. Now if you see the same example, instead of numpy.array we are typing as np.array. Okay, np.array. Okay, like this. Now if you see, if you want to see the version, since it is a library, if any changes occurs in the library, versions will be created, new versions will be created. If you want to know what kind of version it is, okay, we can use a method np dot underscore underscore version. The version of that numpy is 1.16.3. Okay, now just type me this, Usha, just type me this, np dot underscore underscore version. Okay, ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಇದೆ. It's like this, import numpy as np. Not only np, we can give anything. Okay, generally people will be using np dot underscore underscore version. Okay, underscore underscore. Now we need to give that one in print. Okay. Okay, Usha, we can stop here. In the next class onwards, still not many things are there. Okay, numpy pandas, matplotlib. Okay, these many things are there. Okay, Usha, in today's class you learned classes, base class, derived class, inheritance, types of inheritance. After that, introduction of numpy, and I have given you some introduction about array. What is an array? Okay, you must know single dimensional array, two dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. Okay, Usha, thank you, Usha.